Hi class, my name is Cole Wilson and I'll be presenting to you my PowerPoint presentation for Kinesiology 562-BE Exercise and Fitness Education. Let's get into it. Alright, we're going to take a look at health and movement assessment, the tools used for assessing the client's health and movement, the results that we found from those tests, and how those results influenced the design of the 8-week program. We'll also discuss the periodization, which includes the client's goals, exercise selection, order of the exercises, frequency, intensity, and duration, as well as the progression from week to week. We'll also talk about the exercise techniques that my client found difficult, the areas that he struggled in. We're going to look at one compound upper extremity and one compound lower extremity movement, and that'll also be with a video showing you those corrections. Finally, we'll talk about application, what I've learned in this course so far and how I can apply that in my future goals, and faith integration and how we can be Christ-like with our clients. So first, let's look at the health and movement assessment. My client, Andrew, first thing we did was take the PAR-Q questionnaire, and while he was filling it out, some things that came up were chest discomfort when exercising that he experiences. Also, he did admit to having high blood pressure. His cholesterol numbers were unknown. He did have a BMI that was greater than 30, and these were the concerning factors of the PAR-Q. Obviously, with that many red flags and concerns, Andrew should definitely consult his physician before taking part in any exercise program, making sure it's safe to do so. Next, we did the functional movement screen. Andrew did score 14, which is average. It's a good score. Some of the movements that he struggled with were the deep squat, being able to maintain that erect spine all the way from top to bottom. There were times where he would lean forward and kind of go to his toes. That's where he was docked. He was docked a little on the inline lunge. The dowel did not always stay in contact with the spine. Down in the lumbar region, it would come off. And also, the rotary stability, Andrew had some issues with as well. Now, with those results, that helped us design the 8-week plan. Our goals for Andrew were to work on his body composition, help him lose a little bit of weight while strengthening his core and then the surrounding muscles. So with that, with the 8-week plan, we went 3 days a week. Day 1, hitting chest and back. Day 2, focusing on legs and lower back. And then day 3 was focusing on shoulders and arms. This is what the first day of the workout would look like. 5-minute warm-up with the Stairmaster. We go into bench press, and you see we're starting at a relatively light weight at 60% of his max. So he's going to do 4 sets of 8 at 60%, and then 1 set of 8 with 70%. Pull-ups, 5 by 6, and that's just body weight. Incline bench press, 4 sets of 8 at 60%, and then 1 set of 8 at 70. Bent over row, and then 5 minutes cardio. For this case, we did burpees, and then a 5-minute cool down involving stretching the muscles that he worked that day. Day 2, like we said, focused on legs and the lower back. So we have a 5-minute warm up with an incline walk, some squats, 5 sets of 8, 60%, 1 set of 8 at 70%. Also some deadlifts there, leg press, glute hamstring raise, pretty difficult for my client, and then 10-minute cardio, riding a stationary bike, keeping the heart rate at about 70 to 80%, and then a 5-minute cool down of stretching. That was day 2. And then day 3 would be a 5-minute warm-up. Let the client choose, keeping it fresh and exciting for him. And then we hit the shoulders and arms with the military press, 5 sets of 8 at 60%. Dumbbell lateral raise, 2 sets of 12, 60%. Biceps curl, the triceps push down, upright row, and then ending with the mile run and a 5-minute cool down. So those are the 3 workouts per week that my client was performing. Now here's a look at the progression of week 2. So jumping from week 1 to week 2, there was an increase of 5% with the weight and the intensity there. So week 1, my client was doing 4 sets of 8 at 60%, and then 1 set of 8 at 70%. And then week 2, he did 4 sets of 8 at 65%, and 1 set of 8 at 75%. So you can see just a small increase, but noticeably when you're lifting a heavy amount of weights. The warm-up and cardio did remain the same. And if you look at week 3, jumped up again another 5%. You can see it shows the previous week right here. 4 sets of 8 at 65%. That increased to 4 sets of 8 at 70%, and 1 set of 8 at 80%. Warm-up remained the same. The cardio did increase slightly from 10 minutes to 12-minute bike ride. So you see just small steps were taken forward to help Andrew, client, progress. Week 4, we start to alter the amount of reps and sets. So the previous week, week 3, he was performing 4 sets of 8 at 70% and 1 set of 8 at 80%. Now at week 4, we dropped it down to 3 sets of 8 at 70% and 2 sets of 5 at 80%. Warm-up and cardio remain the same. With fewer reps at 80%, it allows a client to not be as fatigued and feel stronger, and really notice that feeling that he's getting closer to whole. All right, week 5. The warm-up increased slightly. So from a 5-minute warm-up, we might bounce up to a 7 or 8-minute warm-up. The workout load slightly decreased, so we actually jumped back a little bit. Prior week, week 4, we did 3 sets of 8 at 70% and 2 sets of 5 at 80%. And then for week 5, we changed to 5 sets of 5 at 65%, so just a little lighter. And then he's doing 1 set of 5 to end the sets at 80%. Now, cardio slightly increased. Instead of doing 10 minutes, we'll do 12 minutes on the bike. And just to get him a little bit extra work, help him with his body composition and losing weight. Week 6, bumped up 5% workout intensity. We went from 5 sets of 5 at 65% and 1 set of 5 at 80%. Changed to 4 sets of 5 at 70% and 1 set of 1 at 85% max. Warm-up and cardio remain the same. Getting close to the end here, week 7, we're going to bump it up 5%, and also the sets and reps were altered. So we went from 4 sets of 5 at 70% and 1 set of 1 at 85% to 3 sets of 5 at 75%, and 1 set of 1 at 90%. Warm-up and cardio remain the same. Finally, last week, week 8, the intensity increased again 5, and we went from 3 sets of 5 at 75% and 1 set of 1 at 90% to 2 sets of 5 at 80% and 1 set of 1 at 95%. So he's almost doing 100% of his max there at week 8, and there were significant gains in his strength, conditioning, and cardio. So it's good to see. And warm-up and cardio remain the same there for week 8. Now here's a video of myself and my client doing the final corrections. There you go. Alright, you saw Andrew performing the and the squat there, the upper body and lower body. Alright, see how to go to the next slide there. Alright, so far in this course, definitely learn the importance of the ability to evaluate and discuss peer-reviewed sources related to components of fitness online. It was not easy at first, but definitely got the hang of it. Also learned the importance of pre-participation screening for clients at any age. Very important to make sure they're in the right health before they get started in the program. Being able to properly demonstrate the movements and communicate with the client, extremely important. And through this course, I was able to design properly periodized training programs for adults. All right, and faith integration, here's a few verses. 1 Corinthians 10:31, therefore, whether you eat or drink, whatever you do, do it all to the glory of God. Romans 12:1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And probably my favorite is 1 Timothy 4:8, for bodily exercise profits a little, but godliness is profitable for all things, having promise of the life that is now, is, and of all acceptance. So, I just encourage you guys to keep motivating your clients and working with them. Thank you.